Hi everyone, welcome back to Kahaniya College. Pehel here. Today's story is the True Tranquility. Tranquility means peace. So the complete meaning of the story is the true peace. Let's see how the true peace can come in our lives.
Once upon a time, there was an emperor who was in study and he was going through the official documents of the state. But somewhere there were volumes of official documents there, so he was really not able to concentrate. He felt a little irritated. So he summoned upon his most trusted minister and told him that I want to focus on the affairs of the state, but my mind is constantly getting disturbed. What I want is when I feel like this, I want to look up at a painting which calms me down, which makes me peaceful so that I can focus on the task at hand. So go find the best artist in the land and get a painting done. As you order, my majesty, the minister said, and left for the job. Now the minister searched for the entire, land, that where can he find such a painter. So after much of search, he found three very talented painters, and all of them were extremely good as well as equally talented. So he called upon the emperor and said, "These three, my majesty, are super. So I think we can get three paintings done and you can choose one from them." The emperor agreed, and once they were explained the task that they need to do and what they had to achieve, they started with their work. So once the work was done, so the emperor and the minister both went to review the same. The first painting that they saw was of a placid lake surrounded by beautiful mountains, and the water was absolutely silent. It conveyed a peaceful feeling. The emperor looked at it, smiled, and said, "This is beautiful." Then he looked at the second painting, which had a snow-capped view, and it conveyed a form of silence which was much beyond the absence of mere noise, because the banks, the snow banks themselves, captured all the noise, and it was the same peace that you could feel after the snowstorm has passed, and the feeling of complete tranquility. The emperor was impressed and he said, "This is insightful." And his minister nodded. So both of them agreed on this. The third painting was of a waterfall. And when the minister saw, he said, "My majesty, I apologize. I think this painter did not really understood, what was required. We needed something, that conveyed serenity. So he said, let me discard it and you can choose from the first two." So he went for the painting while the emperor was staring at the painting, and he stopped him. He said, "Wait, no, wait." And then he said, "This is the painting for me." The minister was completely bewildered. He said, "What? How can this waterfall compare to the other two paintings?" I'm sorry, Emperor, I do not understand." The emperor said, "It is not the waterfall. Look at the picture more carefully." So the minister stared deep into the painting, and he saw just next to the waterfall there was a tree, and on one of the branches of the tree was a nest wherein a bird was resting and relaxing very peacefully. The emperor said, "Look at the bird. There is this torrent just next to it, which is extremely noisy also. But this bird is able to relax and rest in this possible, turmoil also. And that is the essence of tranquility. It is not impacted by external factors." The emperor was very happy, and the minister nodded. He said, "My Majesty, I completely agree with you." Now, the reason the emperor did not choose the first and second painting was the lake, the water body that was there. Although that appeared completely peaceful and calm, but then often under these quiet waters are these chaotic currents which might not be visible at first. So this does not represent, true tranquility. In the second case, if you see, the painting was more in depth, and the snowscape painting not only represented the external piece but the internal piece as well. However, people who live in the colder climate areas, they can tell you, right, because these situations are very, very temporary phenomena. Once the snow starts melting, right, it becomes ugly again. So it's just a temporary phenomena. So although it represented peace, tranquility, but it's not a thing that will stay with you forever. Whereas in the case of in the third case, the bird represented that although the situation around us might not be as ideal as we would like it to be, but let's say if you have peace within, if your mind is calm, it is not agitated, then you can make the best of any particular situation. So to give you an example, right, in current days, people are often flocking to, retreats to find peace, to run away from the chaotic, chaos of life, and to run away from this rat race. So they often take breaks, and there is no harm in that. But the challenge is, once you come back, after a little while, it's the same story. Therefore, there is nothing that matches with the true tranquility, that means the peace within. So the other two pictures showed external peace, whereas the journey needs to be towards inner peace. And once you have it, things will work. Now, to give you another example for this, let's say with this work from home thing, right, we can have absolutely soundproof rooms and a setup that we would just love to have. Now, that might appear to be, a fantastic deal, but let's say if our mind is not calm, right, and there's constantly something or the other going in the head, we will still have the same problem of not being able to focus on the task, and our mind will keep wandering. Hence, this is the reason of choosing the third painting, which represented true tranquility, and that's what we all should aim for.
Did you enjoy this story? Hope you all find your inner peace. Please don't forget to share your comments.